Two big games on the road today as we travel to Ukraine to take on Shakhtar and then fly over the Black Sea to visit Trabzonspor. Hello there everybody, merhaba arkadaşlar, welcome back to the channel. Tekrar hoş geldiniz for yet another episode of Breaking the Big Three with Genclerbirligi in Turkey. And before we start, I do apologise if there's a bit more of an echo than normal in my voice. Today we had someone come in to repair curtains in this room. They took them away, quite big heavy curtains, so my voice is probably bouncing off the windows as we speak. And just one more message before we get started. Please go ahead and do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Drop a comment. Any feedback on the episode or the series in general, very welcome. And all that interaction helps the channel grow and get noticed. So thanks in advance. Last time you were with me, we had a pair of 5-1 wins. Karabakh in the Europa League and Kasımpaşa in the Super League. And since then, our winning ways have continued. We had a narrow 1-0 win over Trabzonspor. This was a game where I rotated quite a few players in. Mehmet Dikmen, back from injury, he got the goal that secured the match for us. If I show you the match stats though, you'll see we were all over them. They had one shot. A little bit concerning that we only got 8 of our 21 on target, but as I said, it was an experimental lineup. We were playing Bayraktar up front. Players like Mehmet Dikmen back from injury. It was almost like a cup game for us, this one. Then we played Karabakh again in the Europa League, and this was quite a match away in Azerbaijan. We won this one 8-0. 2 hat-tricks, one from Oscar and one from Gustafsson. We also had Omer Korkmaz with a goal, Pim van der Gen. Even Besse had time to miss a penalty, which would have made it 9-0 for us. A crazy 44 shots on goal. 21 on target. Second match in a row we didn't let the opposition get a single shot on target, and an all-round stellar performance. So of course that result meant that qualification for the knockout round of the Europa League is guaranteed. It's also guaranteed for our opponents today, Shakhtar. I am showing the game though because I figured then after this, the next meaningful games are probably going to be the Europa League knockout rounds, and I haven't really got the time with all the World Cup and stuff like that going on. I haven't got the time to play that far ahead to go through a transfer window as well. So I thought I'd show this episode now so I don't have to leave too much of a gap between episodes, and then we'll come back for whoever we get in the next Europa League round. 2 more league matches. Now our goal scoring ways continued in the next match. Galatasaray in the Super League. Now they're down at the bottom, fair enough, but still a massive, massive result. A 7-0 win away from home. Again a hat-trick coming, this time from Evren Şengül, either side of half-time. Murat Özkan, again, he's just all over the place. He's just fantastic. He's his third choice left winger, but he's having a great season. 2 goals in the opening 15 minutes. He also had 3 assists in the match to get him the Man of the Match award. And then Timurcin Ceylan and again Pim van der Gen, they added to the scoring. This time we did let the opposition have a shot on target. Again, I am a little bit concerned with the attacking formation I have that we do tend to get a lot of shots off target. But when you're scoring 8 in one game and 7 in the next, that's not a huge complaint to have. And then finally, Besiktas. We played this one. I just played this earlier today, actually. I wasn't thinking about making this an on-camera game, but I thought we'll get an extra game in between episodes. So I played this one, a 3-2 victory here. We made it a little bit hard for ourselves in the second half. Again, we've got the missed penalties. This time, Pimenta missed a penalty in the second minute. When we got another penalty then, I let Besse take it this time, and he finally kind of shook that monkey off his back after missing 2 consecutive penalties to give us the lead. And then Özkan made it 2-0. Besiktas did pull one back, but we made it 3-1 pretty shortly afterwards, and then they scored in injury time. So a much closer game than the ones we had in the previous couple of matches. Match time then. Shakhtar are actually favourites for this one, although we have the slightly better form coming into it. As you can see from the table over here, both teams on 10 points, with Rijeka and Karabakh struggling far behind on a point apiece. And this is how we're lining up for today's game. I'm sticking with the 4-3-3 formation. I'm going to take the initiative a bit because we drew the home game, so a victory is imperative to get us top spot in the group. Of course, here with the Europa League, with those teams dropping out of the Champions League, first place doesn't exactly guarantee us an easy draw, but it's got to have some kind of advantage being seeded for the next round, I guess. So, Utku in goal, Tariq and Savic in the centre of defence, Jakub Duman and Ernstberger playing in the full-back positions, Omer Korkmaz, Ibrahim Tezcan and Evren forming that trio in the middle of the park, Timochin Ceylan and Oscar on the wings, Gustavsson up front, hopefully going to continue his good recent form today. And team talk, then we're going to tell the team to, let's see what you can do. Keep our run going. That's got most of them motivated. Tunnel interview about the poor weather today, but it doesn't look too bad to me as we get ready for the kickoff. We're in the black. Shakhtar in the orange. Okay, here we go. The snow is lashing down as we begin today's match. Corner for Shakhtar here. We've cleared it, but to where? Gustavsson finally decides he's going to run for the ball, and he gets it. He's making his run now. He's going to whip in across here, hopefully. Yes, he does, but half cleared by the defence. The chance is still alive. Gustavsson, Korkmaz, Gustavsson again, and he gets it out to Timochin Ceylan, who taps in at the far post. 4 minutes gone, and we are a goal up. A nightmare start for Shakhtar Donetsk. Come on, commentary, let's accentuate the positive. It's a dream start for Genclerbirligi. That's what we're looking for today. So Oscar's got it. Evren plays it to Evren. Tezcan now. Korkmaz to come on. There's a man over on the right wing. Finally, it gets to him. Jakub Duman's going to get the cross in, and he gets it to Oscar just over the bar. Very promising start. Shakhtar are not producing anything yet. Halfway through the first half now, and the game's quietened down a bit. Not a lot going on here. No more highlights. Shakhtar haven't produced any further chances, just going off the stats. Not that we've seen any of the chances they've produced so far, and it looks like we're going to go into the break with this 1-0 lead intact, which I'm perfectly happy to do. And indeed, there we go. The halftime whistle has come. So, I jumped ahead there pressing the team talk button. So, team talk, we are going to tell the team, guard against complacency. Never think the job is done, boys. Never think the job is done. Now get out there and do the job. Shakhtar kick off. No substitutions from either side at half-time, it would seem. Evren. Who's been a silly boy. He's off. Great. One of our best players sent off. Not the start we had in mind, has to be said. Right. Korkmaz, push him further up a bit. Though he's not going to be a Mizala, that's for sure. We'll make him ball-winning midfielder on defend. Going to pull the wingers back a little bit. And we'll stick with that for now. We'll look into changing team instructions and so on a little bit later, but we're definitely going to tell the team to concentrate at that point. Still no highlights from the Shakhtar side of things, apart from that kickoff. And we're probably going to have to make a substitution at some point just to avoid people getting too tired. Maybe Mustafa Salam on for Ibrahim Tezcan will be a good move. Okay, here we go. It's a corner for us. Are we going to add a goal here? Very nearly, very nearly. Bit of a goal mouth scramble there, but Shakhtar managed to boot it away. They had the men back. They're not doing much, it has to be said, to try and get back into this game. So I'm going to take off Oscar. He's not playing particularly well. He's only on a 6.4. So let's get Murat Özkan out there to terrorize them a bit. Johansson, the guy who we, just after we signed him, broke his ankle, is apparently just a couple of weeks away from a return to fitness. So that's good news. We'll keep an eye out for him. And I'm going to put Besse on as well. Fresh striker to run at the defense. Provide an outlet for us, and we're going to make tactical changes very soon, just for the last 5 minutes. Okay, let's tighten this all up a bit. So we're going to go to standard and team shape structured. Let's just pause that, excuse me, and team instructions. Let's tell them to retain possession. We'll take off run out of defense, be a bit more disciplined. We'll take off look for the overlap because, you know, we don't want the fullbacks bombing forward at this point, and we'll just slow things down a bit tempo wise. I think that all looks good. I'm just going to make the fullbacks a bit more defensive as well. There you go. Get men behind the ball and hope that we don't concede a silly goal late on. Okay, there was an offside there against Shakhtar. But they haven't really done anything in the second half. They've lacked the kind of penetration to get back into the game. And here we go. This is going to be the match. Well, we've ground out a 1-0 win. Not quite the goal fests that have been happening off camera, but playing the second half with 10 men, I'm perfectly happy with the way we protected our lead. So into the dressing room, I'm going to tell them that it was indeed a good win. Let's leave the match. I think then that pretty much guarantees first place in the group, doesn't it? If we bring those groups up now. So right in the middle here, yeah, so we're 3 points ahead, and that means 4 points for us from the 2 games against Shakhtar. So even if we conspire to lose against Rijeka in our final game and Shakhtar win, I think the head-to-head results would see us stay ahead of them. Hensberger getting the man of the match there. Interesting for him. He was in as a backup, getting a bit of a run out, so yeah, we'll praise that. It's nice to see him doing a job out there and taking his chance when he gets one in the team. Evren banned for a match, so we will issue a warning for that, just so he behaves himself a bit better in the future. But for now, fade to black, and we'll be right back for Trabzonspor. Welcome back everybody, Tekrar Geldiniz. We're just about to do our second match of the episode away to Trabzonspor, but first, a few updates to mention. First of all, looking at the squad, as you can see here, I've played around with the squad screen a bit. One thing I didn't realise that was a feature until now, which has been proven to be great, is this one, games missed. You can have a look at the first team games missed in a row. So obviously our backup goalkeeper has missed the most, but this is just very good when I'm picking the team, looking at, okay, anyone who's on a rotation deal or a first team deal who's maybe missed more than a couple of games, and I'll get them back in there. I mention this now because I've just had chats with the player and the squad about this guy, Gökhan Gül. He's unhappy yet again about lack of first team football. He was unhappy at the start of the season, got him happy again. And then the last 7 or 8 matches, he's kind of played every other game. So he's now not happy with that. We had a team meeting about it. He's one of the team leaders. In the end, though, everybody kind of agreed with me, except for one of the other players who's a backup, Ibrahim Sumer, who thought I should be giving him a chance. So hopefully this will be resolved. Funnily enough, right after Gökhan Gül complained, and this became a news story, right after the team meeting, there was a bid from Benfica for him. £5.5 million, but I said no. And one other thing to show you about my squad, I've brought up here Turkey's most recent international game, a 2-2 draw with Belgium. And the reason I brought this up is I was very pleased to see here no fewer than 7 Genclerbirligi players involved, with Jakub Duman, Gökhan Gül, Alparslan Kutlu, Ömer Korkmaz, and Evren Şengül all starting the game, and then Uwe Kuran and Servet Şentürk coming on as substitutes. Also amongst the players, Berke Inal, of course, a former player of ours, and we'll kind of claim that Polat Yazıcı was our top transfer target in the summer. We couldn't quite sign him, but great to see so many Genclerbirligi players involved in the Turkey team. And the other news on the international front is Pim van der Gen has made his debut for the Holland team. So great to see that. He's developed nicely. I mean, he's not a world beater of a player, but he's a very solid player in our defence, kind of dependable player that I like to have in my team, and we'll look forward to more from him. And one other piece of news before we get into the match from the under-19 team. Now, we, of course, were knocked out of the Champions League before the group stage, and in the past few seasons we've had our under-19 team in this UEFA Youth League. What I didn't realise is that when you're not involved in the Champions League group stage, you still get some kind of participation in that. So they've progressed nicely, knocking out Bate, Belarusian team, and then knocking out Partizani. And they are going to continue in that after the winter break. Also, for the first time ever, my youth team have been invited to the Viareggio tournament. So that's interesting. They're going to be in a group with Lazio under-20s, Pohang reserves from Korea, and Bloemfontein Celtic from South Africa. So I'll be keeping an eye on that one. So today then, away to Trabzonspor. We are favourites. Trabzonspor are not having a great season. They're languishing down in 12th. just looking at the table, that resurgence of the big three that we saw last season has kind of slipped a bit. As you see, they're all trapped down here, 5th, 6th and 7th for them, with Basaksehir and Osmanlispor leading the way. Of course, we've got games in hand on them, having yet to play our weekend fixture and having had another match postponed until late December because of European action. And Antalyaspor are up there as well. And this is how we line up today. So Utku in goal. Gökhan, I wasn't going to play him, but after he kicked up of us, I thought, I don't normally give in to players. I don't see this as giving in, but okay, I'll rotate him in. Whatever. Fernandez, Alpaslan, and Duman in the defensive lineup. Ibrahim Sumer, despite him getting stroppy in the team meeting, I was going to play him anyway, so I'm not changing that. Pimenta, I'm just going to try him out in a Carrilero role. Servet Şentürk is there as well. Timuçin Ceylan. Murat Özkan gets a run out. Gustafsson continues up front. Actually, forgot to mention with the internationals, Besse, our other striker, was called up to the Belgium squad, although he didn't actually play. So a similar looking lineup from Trabzonspor. And the team talk is going to be, let's have a look, keep our run going yet again. And let's play this match. Raining heavily on the Black Sea coast as we kick this one off. So hopefully we're going to continue our winning ways, and Trabzonspor are not suddenly going to find their form. Playing Trabzonspor here, of course, always brings back memories of that game early in the career. Episode 5, I believe, if you want to check that out. Oh dear, Timuçin Ceylan's been injured when I needed a point to save my job, and we just about managed it. Okay, Evren Şengül, who I benched just, because he got sent off in the last game, is going to come on anyway. A potential foot injury for Timuçin Ceylan. Hopefully that doesn't turn out to be a broken ankle. Okay, Evren, he has got the ball. He plays it to Gökhan. Gökhan to Pimenta. Come on, I'm looking for this guy to make an overlap, but he doesn't, and Pimenta just blasts the ball to no one in particular. I've just realised I keep doing this. I have to get on top of this, but Ibrahim Sumer and Fernandez must have played for the under-21s. That's why their condition's so low, and Trabzonspor have just taken the lead through Shrivers. Okay, not the best for us, although that shouldn't have happened because the under-21 game was today, so they shouldn't be eligible to play in both. So I have to find out what happened there. And half-time, we're still a goal down. We're definitely telling the team that was not good. No, didn't normally get a full-on green reaction when I tell them they've not been good enough. An extra I'm not happy, that's done the trick a bit better. So let's have a look. Gustafsson's not having a great game. He's only on a 6.3. I would normally sub him off in this situation, but as we've already made one substitution, I don't want to have made 2 substitutions this early in the game. So we'll give him a little bit of time to redeem himself and get himself back into the game. I've also got to keep an eye on Fernandez and Ibrahim, and their condition is dropping rapidly. Okay, there was a nice angled ball attempted by Servet there, but it didn't get through. Here we go then, Trabzonspor are on the counter. Let's see if we can close them down. It's that guy Shrivers again with the dipping shot. Luckily it didn't quite dip enough. Here we come now. Servet knocks it out to Evren. Evren brings it inside, plays in Gustafsson. Gustafsson this time with a dipping shot. Just not quite dipping enough. We're going to encourage the team to do better from here. And it's time, I think, to make a substitution. So I'm going to bring Besse on. He's missed a couple of matches, so hopefully he's going to have that hunger to show me why he should be in the team. And I'm going to bring Savic on for Fernandez because he's run himself into the ground. That is, of course, all my substitutions used up, which means Ibrahim Sumer is just going to have to rough it out. Rough it out. Okay, Utku's got it. Savic plays a long ball up to Besse. And Besse, oh, so close to a goal, so close to the 2 substitutes combining immediately. We're going to have to look into tweaking with the tactics to push more people up if we don't score off this corner. The highlight is continuing, which is a good sign. I'm not going to press anything now. I don't want to kill the highlight by mistake. Russo has picked up a knock. All right, he must have been the player who was down on the edge of our area when this attack began. So hopefully he's received his treatment now, and we're not just watching the players jostling for position ahead of the corner for no reason. They don't have anybody on that back post. We've got a guy there completely unmarked. Okay, what's going on? Okay, finally Murat knocks one to Trabzonspor and Ibrahim hits it straight at the keeper. Was that really worth waiting for? I don't think so. Okay, time to make some tactical changes. So we're just going to switch the formation round a bit. Put Pimienta up front. Shadow striker, please. Let's get a goal out of you, Servet. Let's have you on a more of an attacking role. Ibrahim, you can take over as the carrilero. And we'll get these guys onto the complete wing-back role. Come on, push everything up. We're going to go attacking in search of that goal. And I'm going to take off the play out of defence. We're going to clear the ball to the flanks. So obviously play quite wide in order for that to be effective. And look for that overlap as well. Going to go more direct with the passing. Be a bit more expressive, guys. Come on, up that tempo. Let's get out there and get that equaliser. And as usual, after that much tweaking, nothing has happened yet. And we get a Trabzonspor attack, but good, it's cancelled out. Şentürk back to Gökhan. Come on, where's that direct passing we were looking for? Well, there's a direct pass, just to no one in particular. Besse can't get behind the defenders. Come on, keep the pressure up, keep the pressure up. Don't let Trabzonspor get a second here. Ibrahim knocks it out to Evren. Evren's going to get the cross into Besse. Oh, and the header goes just wide, just wide. Well, we've had more positive play here. Let's tell the team to push forward and get out there. Come on, we're into stoppage time now. I don't know what just happened there. Anyway, here we go. Savic, Gökhan, Ibrahim. Ibrahim out to Duman. Duman plays a long ball up. Besse can't quite get on the end of it. Come on, we've got to get something out of this. We've got to get something out of this. Here we go. One last chance, perhaps. No, the long balls are just not quite finding their targets. Okay, Trabzonspor with one last attack. We can't get the ball off them. Oh, crunching tackle from Servet. This is going to set up the final attack for us. Pimienta. Pimienta, you should have released that much earlier to Evren. Oh, my God. I guess he just did not see. If he'd just taken one touch and hit the pass, Evren was in acres of space, completely unmarked, but he just dallied on the ball too long, and that has cost us the match. Okay, we're definitely going with that was not good enough. Ultimately, that was definitely a game we should have won. The third defeat of the season. That means we stay in third place. However, we've still got that game in hand over the two teams above us, so if we are to win that, we're going to go clear by a point at the top. Let's have a look at the schedule for matches coming up. So we got the Cup coming up, home and away matches with Altay, who I do believe are down in the second division. Let me just double check that. Indeed they are. Then we've got Sivasspor in the league, Rijeka. We've got Basaksehir. That's going to be a big game, actually. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a big game, but we won't show that one now. Maybe we'll leave it for the Basaksehir game that's coming up right near the end of the season, assuming we're both up there. So I'm going to play through these few matches, get up to late December and that mid-season break, and we'll see who else we get in the Cup. We'll see who we get in the Europa League, and then I'll decide where the next episode is going to come from. But for now, please hit that like button for today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer. See you again soon.